So, in my opinion, the community has spent a lot of time talking about why fathers opt out, why you need to get married, marry before you carry, all of those different things, right? But when has the community addressed what to do if you find yourself as a woman and you have children and you're a single mother with the father that opted out? When has the community addressed that? When has the community given a template for what would increase the odds of this dynamic being successful? Because it's going to happen, right? In the current climate, in the current black community, you know, social culture, this is going to happen. Even if it doesn't happen at a large margin, it's still going to happen. You also asked me about how did I figure out like if they're right, I guess, in regards to the studies. And the answer to that question is because they are so intricate in the studies. What I, what I surmise is that people were reading the outcomes of single mothers, but never really investigating the cause, the why. Why? Okay, children who come from single mothers have a higher rate of criminality. Why? Children who come from single mothers have a higher rate of hypersexuality. Why? Single children who come from single mothers um, perform lower academically. Why? No one ever got into the why. The why always was, oh, because a man's not there. But what is it when a man is there? Because there are studies on that. Okay, let me show you one. So this is the study that I referenced in the video. Are both parents always better than one? Parental conflict and young adult well-being. Now, if you look right here, and mind you, this study was extremely long, so it actually takes some time to read all the way through it. It's going to take probably about an hour. Um, we set out to address how children experience high levels of parental conflict fare compared to those in other family arrangements. Now, real quick, let me show you that they did this study on continuously married individuals for a period of 17 years. Okay. And what they found was that high conflict married parent families compared to low conflict married parent families had higher odds, ranging from about 50% to 75% of dropping out of high school, reporting poor grades, smoking and binge drinking. They were at greater risk on the order of about 50% of early sex, non-marital childbearing, and union dissolution. And then it does consistent with past research, we also found higher odds of all of these things with single moms and stepfathers. So why is this important? Okay, it's important, as I stated in this video above, because you actually have to solve the root problem. Okay, you have to solve the root problem. If the problem at the root is economic poverty, which this hold on, let me show that. So this is when they were talking about family income and mothering, which it was like part of it was poverty, but poverty produced the negative like effects. Um, but it said that improvements in mother-child relationship quality are associated with a reduction in the relative risk of early cohabitation, non-marital childbearing, and union disruption, right? On the order of about 10% for a standard deviation. And why is this important is because it's important to read multiple studies, which a lot of people don't do, but should do. I read several different studies to really understand an issue. And there are a plethora of studies that looked into all of these different factors. So they looked into the association of poverty. They looked into harsh mothering, because that's in here too. There are studies on that harsh mothering produces such and such. There are studies on what harsh fathering, neglectful fathering, toxic fathering, violent fathering produces. I mean, it's very intricate. That's why I said it's like an open book test. Read the studies. Read the studies. They even have the studies on like stepfathers too that talked about that. Um, and they talked about how, is this the right slide? Hold on, let me see. It's right here. This is the correct slide. It talks about how stepfathers distribute like higher discipline, but they have less emotional connection with them. They like, yeah, a single mother getting with a stepfather can solve the poverty issue, but then there's all of these other sociological issues that then cause problems and mayhem. So, anywho, my point is that you have to look at all of the different variables and stuff because that's the only way to solve the problem. Okay, like we can talk prevention, marry for before you carry, figuring out why fathers opt out, which I have some theories on that one too. One, I think it's been sociologically acceptable in the black community for fathers to opt out, and two, I think that systemic oppression and economic alienation of black men increases the odds of them opting out. I think giving them poor sexual education and self agency in regards to their own fatherhood journey, which means that they can control when they become a father instead of putting the onus of preventing their fatherhood on women, would actually decrease that issue. Thinking more intentionally in regards to fatherhood and things like that instead of it just being a mistake and an accident and something that happened when they were, when they were hunching one day. Okay. So all of those different things have to be addressed. But like I said, I'm here to literally show the research, show the data. If you go through the research and the data, they tell you what causes the problem. What are some things that could cause this outcome? And I think our community has only focused on the outcome, but not actually thoroughly and effectively investigated the cause of the outcome. Okay? The cause of the effect. Just saying, oh, single mothers produce this effect. Okay, but why? Okay, but why? And that's what research, data, and science is there for, is to tell you why. Okay? And then you solve it from there by not doing the why. It's very simple.